Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronos Plays Phoenix Wright's Dual... Phoenix Wrights? No, it's Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies. Anyways, we're going into episode 5, which is the last episode, Turnabout tomorrow. Last episode was actually surprisingly fast. I made an update video before I recorded that episode, thinking that I still had like a couple episodes left before the case ended. I was wrong. No one can escape their past. The sins we've committed, and the sadness we've caused. No matter how far we run, our pasts remain. As ever-present as the moon in the sky. Except for the days the moons aren't on the sky. Isn't in the sky, I should say. I know how to speak. That mostly has to do with rotation of the Earth, but still. It looms in wait for the day when we are forced to face it. The moon? But only in doing so can we truly make peace and move on in hope towards tomorrow. December 20th. Wait. Was it not October? Has it been a couple months? I guess not. Maybe I just thought it was October. When was October in this game? They took Athena from the courthouse straight to the station. She's probably being questioned at this very moment, I should say. Haha, I'm a serial killer! Like, oh. I should have seen this coming. After this past year, I took it for granted that those two would always be here. But now Apollo has gone off on his own edgy adventure to seek his own truth. And my pursuit of the truth only ended up with Athena becoming the new suspect. Some boss I turned out to be. It's even quieter in here than usual. Yeah, we're brooding. It seems so empty now. I just don't get it, Daddy. All of your reasoning during the trial seemed perfectly solid. Did you see all that? Yeah, and I still believe it was, at least based on what we know. But now, Athena is the one who's being accused. During the trial for the bombing and murder that occurred at the Cosmos Space Center, the lighter used by the real culprit was found. The lighter proved that the defendant, Solomon Grundy, is innocent. That pissed off Blackwell, but Athena's prints were found on it instead. And she was subsequently arrested for the murder. But Athena couldn't have done it, it just doesn't make any sense. No, none of it does. I've been racking my brain, but I can't figure it out. Okay, so I was gonna say, was she even there that day? And I think there was like a comment or something like that about how the Phoenix asked her if she was there and she made some excuse or something like that. So maybe she was there that day. Where is the flaw in my reasoning? What have I got wrong in this case? You know, Daddy, if Athena was here, she wouldn't just be sitting around thinking. She'd be out there trying to... they're doing something like trying to find out if she's innocent or not. You are going to defend Athena, right, Daddy? No. He just walks away. He's like, wait, what? Of course I will. The credits start rolling. It's like the shortest case in history. Of course I will. Thanks, Trucy. I needed that push. Trucy's right. The trial's tomorrow. There's no time to waste. If I'm going to prove Athena's innocence, I better get out there and find some evidence. Off we go then. We're on a hunt for evidence that will prove Athena's innocence. Great. But before we do that, I better tidy up the evidence I have on hand. Athena's probably still in the middle of this being questioned. So Trucy's right. The thing to start with is talking to people at the Space Center. I fucking was so sure we were in October. And I don't know why. There's no dates. Okay. Talk. What to do? I still can't believe Apollo really left us. It was so sudden. Maybe you get tired of being my assistant for my magic tricks? I don't think it's your fault, Trucy. But I made him clean the toilet a lot. Okay, maybe it is. And I made him go bring in the newspaper. What is he, a dog? It was my fault. I didn't know it. Oh, Apollo, sniffle. I really don't think it was your fault, Trucy. It could have been, actually. But I didn't realize Apollo was wearing so many hats around here. How could they suspect Athena? Fingerprints. It's just ridiculous. It just has to be some kind of conspiracy. Like the moon landing. A conspiracy, huh? Well, it certainly is some kind of mistake, that's for sure. First of all, we have to bust Athena out of the detention center. Then we have to chase down the people who framed her. Then we'll sneak around the world from Kiev to Carolina with the fuzz right on our trails. Our tails. Isn't that exactly the same as the plot of the movie you watched the other day? Is it? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know too many movies, I guess. That's not true, but I feel like I don't watch nearly as many movies as I used to. Like, at all. Like, even the movies I do watch, they're usually movies I've already seen. Yeah, I don't know. There's some movies, you know, like if a new Star Wars comes out, for the most part, I'll see it. I didn't watch the latest show, because it, honestly, it looked not that great, and apparently it wasn't, if you ask a lot of people. Though there was many different reasons why many people, like, there was two different groups of haters, I guess you can say. One for, like, show reasons and one for other reasons. But, yeah, it didn't look that good. And honestly, I just kind of want them to do a KOTOR movie, right? Or a show, or just remake KOTOR 1. Please. They're doing that, Chronos. No, they're not. They're never doing that. I know they said they're doing that, but that's never happening. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, movies. I don't know. It's like a lot of the movies, I'll watch a trailer and it just looks not good, or show even. Like, definitely streaming shows. I've grown so tired of streaming shows that it's just like all these they just seem like cookie cutter bullshit. And I don't want any part of it, especially if you're charging me monthly, which is no longer like the cheap option, it seems like, because it's all fucking like super expensive when you get all of them now, if you want all of them. Why are we talking about this? I don't know. Space. I'd sure love to go up there someday. Will you take me, Daddy? No. And it's not like taking somebody to an amusement park, you know? Well, you hardly ever take me to one of those either. You just said I don't have any money and I don't have time. Oh, okay, fine. I'll take you on the next day off. You're the best, Daddy. Even though I just said you weren't. I'm no match for Trucy. I haven't been to an amusement park in years either. I think okay, so I think was it 2013, 2012? I went to Disney and Universal. That was fun. And that was it. Was that it? Was that the last time I went to like an amusement park type place? That was fucking 12-ish years ago? Director Cosmos, do you have a minute? Galactic Scooter! Full speed ahead! Should have tripped him. Director, he scooted away. His expression changed the instant he saw you, Daddy. Yeah, well, I dragged his name through the mud pretty good at the trial earlier today. I didn't really drag it, I just... Yeah, I dragged it. Yeah, no, you're right. I dragged it. We were here only yesterday. Oh, hey! Mr. Starbucks, you've been released, huh? Yep, I came straight here. This is all thanks to you and your team, Mr. Wright. You've given me a second chance to fly into space again. I can't thank you enough. Except... What's wrong? I thought he'd be happy to be acquitted. As I was coming out of the detention center, I saw Miss Cykes. He saw Athena? Yeah, I mean, they have sections. I was gonna say, the way they keep the male and female prisoners in the same area, but I guess at a detention center, it's just like a holding until they go to jail, right? So they're probably just different sections. I was at a loss for words. I didn't know what to say to the poor girl. And then, you know what? She flashed a peace sign. Okay, well, at least it was a peace sign at me. Congratulations on your acquittal, she said. Now you can go back into space someday. Yeah, that sounds like Athena. That was actually a pretty good impression, Solomon. I just can't picture it. But I saw her eyes. They were red and swollen from crying. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go to jail for murder. She's got to be suffering. She must be so worried. And she went out of her way to be nice and gave me a big smile. She held back her own tears so she could give someone else a smile? That's so Athena. There's no question about it. That girl is innocent. Please, Mr. Wright, you have to make sure she goes free. And then can you put me in then they can put me in prison instead. I don't mind. You can't have that either. We can't have either Starbucks. I mean, if you want to trade, that's fine. Don't worry, Mr. Starbucks. I'm gonna give her the very best defense I can. I promise to get her acquitted, just like I did for you. I know she'll be all right with you in her corner. I know you'll never give up on her. Apollo has a fine boss to look up to. I'm assuming he's coming back, Apollo. Like, I'm assuming we text him like, hey, dog, Athena's in jail for murder. Can you come back, please? I still can't believe Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum. What could have made Director Cosmos do such a thing? I haven't the foggiest idea. So there never was going to be a launch that day. Not from the very beginning. I wonder if Clay knew. I imagine he must have. Surely he would have noticed when you went to board the rocket. It's pathetic to think I was the only one who got taken in. You were drugged. But I guess that's about how it goes when you're worth less than space debris. Space debris is worth actually some money, right? Like, even if it's just like the junk is in space, there are people that will pay money for that. It could just be something flushed out of the space station, like fucking used toilet paper. Now that would probably, well, I mean, I guess it's really close. Depends on how close that is to the atmosphere. But anyways, yeah, you can take some junk from space, and be like, hey, this is from the space station, and someone will definitely pay it. Could you lie and scam people? Oh, absolutely. Would you do that? No. No, I woun't. Oh, I just take out a site called onlyspace.com. That probably is already a thing. Is he gonna be alright, Daddy? Don't go to it, just in case, though. His intestine looks as dark as the black hole. You know, that's just how he is. The murderer. Mr. Starbucks, do you remember anything about the murderer? Not really. I only saw a shadowy figure in the dark after all. Yeah, I guess that was a little too much to hope for. Hey, I heard something about the police, though. Oh, from the police. They said they never did find a 10 caliber gun down the trash chute. Just as I thought. The culprit must have carried it away with them when they escaped. So the person you saw holding gun, was the person you saw holding a gun, Mr. Starbucks? I couldn't really tell. But it wasn't Athena, right? Could you tell if the person was male or female, tall or short? I can't even tell you that much. Man, I'm useless. When the culprit opened the door and some light came in, I should have been able to see. The door. Ah, right. As I recall, they opened the door as they made their escape. The door to Launchpad 1, right? Yeah, except that right now the door leads to the Space Museum. You mean the Launchpad and Space Museum are switched right now? Yeah, they're trying to investigate the theory you came up with in court. So they're recreating conditions, huh? I'd like to see what's beyond that door now. Mr. Starbucks, can you open this door for us? Sure, just let me get my print scanned here. Switching the launch pads. Do launch pads get switched back and forth a lot? Well, back when the Space Museum was Launchpad 2, they used to switch the pads around at times. But these days, Launchpad 2 is only used as a tourist attraction, right? Right, because, quite frankly, the Space Center needs the money. I hear ya. Times sure are tough. Relatable. Daddy, let's go check on what's beyond that door. Sure, let's go. Hey, why don't I come along? I can show you around. Leaf? Is it a tanuki? Huh, I wonder what these dead leaves are doing here. Maybe they were stuck in the bottom of somebody's shoe. There's a lot of trees around the Space Center. I mean, okay, yeah, on the outskirts. She's right. It's a modern state-of-the-art building, but it's surrounded by trees. I don't know. If they were stuck to the bottom of someone's shoe, wouldn't they look more crushed up? Like, these don't look like they've been stepped on. Maybe there's some kind of secret hatch in the corridor, and they came in that way. Not everything is set up like a magician's stage, you know. So this is another one of those devices for opening a door, right? Yep, but this one doesn't require fingerprint verification. You just hit the button says and open sesame. So when you and Clay went through the door, you didn't need to show your prints, right? That's right, Trucy. Just like how the culprit didn't need to scan theirs when they escaped back at the Space Museum corridor into Boarding Lounge 2. Well, I don't see anything else that jumps out at me. And if I imagine this corridor is built exactly like Launchpad 1 corridor. We didn't take the leaves? Okay. Lighter. You know anything about this piece of evidence? No. You don't really? Not the lighter? Not the space samples. My god, Red Rocket, you are... You are out of this world, as they say. You're really not gonna comment on any of this shit. None. Even the picture of your dead friend. That's weird. I feel like if someone showed me a picture of my dead friend, I'd probably be like, hey, what the fuck? Okay, you did react to it, that's fine. Alright, time to move, I guess, to... yeah, entrance? Yes, okay. I was gonna say, normally, at least in this game, anytime it's like you need to go to the detention center, they just kind of tell you. Hey, curse the wretch who sullied my good name. Reverse course and full speed ahead. Directed Cosmos, wait, you dick. I'll handle this, Daddy. Take this! Hey, the mobility system has been compromised. Trucy's knife throw was a direct hit to one of his tires. Good God, Trucy, you're amazing. And the streak continues. Maybe I should have kept a closer watch on what tricks she's been practicing. Maybe, dear old battleship. We've fought many a skirmish together. It's been an honor. Daddy, he's gonna blow that thing up! Nah, I bet all that button does a button will do will make it go haywire again. Very well. I surrender. As a prisoner of war, I expect to be treated honorably. Oh, fuck no. Get the fingernail ripping pliers out. Director Cosmos, when you were talking in court about switching the launch pads, you used your right to remain silent about the reason as to why. Yeah? Oh, you look so sad. Okay, we did just see this yesterday, so you don't have to show it all again. I guess you don't know that. You probably maybe thought I took like a month off, maybe, to record this, but still. The center of the cosmos is shrouded in mystery, but I don't have any secret left. Now that my battleship has been destroyed and I've been taken prisoner. Psyche locks. Ew, 3. No secrets left, huh? I beg to differ. Looks like I'll have to undo the psyche locks if I want to get to the bottom of this. Okay, I guess we can try.
Take that!
I was gonna say we could go check other places, but I don't think we have any other places. A detention center, but again, I'd imagine they would have told us to go there. I want you to tell me everything you're hiding about the switching of the 2 launch pads.
I refuse. You can't make me. I can hold out any longer than anyone.
I hope I never get like that when I'm old. Now let's see, where to start? This is how you explain your motive for switching the launch pad. You did it to prevent the bombing, to save the astronauts. Thanks to you switching the launch pad, the astronauts were escape injury from blast. Instead, they safely boarded the museum's rocket.
My astronauts are rearing to go out without authentic adventure in space. How do you propose I had them board a fake rocket without them noticing?
I agree you couldn't have done it without help. For one, they would have had to figure out the instant they stepped into the Space Museum. You figured you could fool Mr. Starbucks once he's been drugged with his medication, but without the help of this person, it would have been impossible for you to pull off your plan. Clay Aiken.
Take that!
You must have gotten Mr. Terran to help you.
Her!
He stole the tranquilizers from his mentor's locker and slipped them to him. That's extremely dangerous, by the way. Like, that's fucking dangerous. Even if they're prescribed to him, like, you don't know, generally speaking, how often or how much he should be taking or whatnot. Right? I mean, it could say on the prescription when to take it as needed, but you don't know if he's already taken them or, yeah, just don't do that. Right? Even if you're an evil person, just don't do that. And then, with Mr. Starbucks in a daze, they boarded the replica rocket in the museum. There we go.
Here, someone please help this old prisoner of war.
How was he able to spin around like that? That's all in the hips. If you really wanted to save the astronauts' lives, shouldn't you have just called off the launch?
If I could have done that, do you think I would have gone to all this trouble?
Guess he must have had a compelling reason why he couldn't call it off. But how did you know to switch pads in advance of the bombing incident?
Well, that's because, I was warned in advance. Once I received that warning, it was my duty to ensure my astronaut's safety.
But it was just a warning. It could have even been a prank. Just a prank, bro. So why did you believe it so completely?
Because I went to one of those mediums that everyone's talking about these days.
Oh, I didn't realize channeling was back in vogue. Besides, I thought it was you yourself that got the warning via telephone.
Yes, that's right. The bomber contacted me personally. My battleship is equipped with a special advanced communication system, you see.
AKA a regular old telephone.
It's been a while planning another launch. I see you haven't learned. I'll never forget the terror I felt when I received that call.
The bomber said it's been a while. And that was enough to make you take that threat seriously? Perhaps Director Cosmos took the threat so seriously because the Space Center had been involved in the bombing once before. Maybe. The culprit in the current case is the same person who was involved in the incident. In this incident. I'm gonna assume Hat 1 Miracle? Hat 2 bombing, was that a thing? I don't think it would be courtroom number 4 bombing. They're not really connected aside from Candace Arm. don't know. Maybe? Yeah, actually, wait. Yeah? Let's try Hat 2 bombing and then courtroom. Hat 2 bombing. That must have been where the answer to your secret lies.
Oh, hands! Ready the Galactic School's main thrusters, turrets. Teach this blockhead what a precision shot is all about.
Ah, you got me. Okay, I guess I was way off on that one. Now let's see. Oh, we didn't take damage? Courtroom bombing. It was the courtroom bombing, wasn't it? That's when you were dealt a major blow.
Do you really think that blowing up a courtroom would have shaken the center of the cosmos?
Okay, Hat 1 miracle. Right. Right. The Hat 1 miracle, that epic story of survival. People across the nation know it now as the heroic tale of bravery. But in truth, it was an act of sabotage perpetrated by our current killer, wasn't it? Very few knew about the previous plot, so when the caller said it's been a while, you knew beyond a shadow of doubt that the danger was real, and it wasn't a prank.
Hey, didn't anyone tell you you have to go easy on ex-servicemen?
I'm surprised we don't have to, like, show evidence. I'm so used to these showing evidence that's why I was a little concerned that we wouldn't have enough yet. I like the chains, by the way, and the models in this game. They look so good.
Yes, the Hat 1 miracle was really a desperate battle against an act of sabotage. I even lost the life of one of my staff members in the fight.
Sabotage, murder. So this is the ugly truth behind the Hat 1 miracle.
I let my guard down. I thought the saboteur had been caught and that case was closed.
Huh? Wait a minute. The murderer at the Space Center 7 years ago. This must be the person Director Cosmo thought was the culprit. Blackwell? Give it, yeah.
Take that!
Simon Blackwell, the murderer suspect in a case that happened in here 7 years ago. Is it still a suspect if you've been convicted? The place and time of the two incidents, the murder and the sabotage, were the same. So you thought that he committed both crimes. But while Prosecutor Blackwell is behind bars, you get another threatening call. If the culprit this time is the same as 7 years ago, then it isn't Simon Blackwell. Realizing that, you were shaken, not stirred. It meant that true culprit's been running free all this time.
How do you keep seeing straight through me?
Magic! I am the Magic Man! Switching the launch pads. The reason why Director Cosmos won't talk about why he switched the launch pads is connected to the truth behind the Hat 1 miracle. The sabotage and the murder that happened at the Space Center 7 years ago. Director Cosmos, tell us what you're hiding. I'll take your stars if you don't.
If you really want to understand the reason I decided to switch the launch pads. Flashback? We'll have to start with the story of that horrible nightmare from 7 years ago.
7 years ago? You mean the so-called Hat 1 miracle? Please be anime and VO'd. I like the music.
Launch went smoothly, but once the ship entered outer space, then the troubles began. It was all the handiwork of a certain person and their evil scheme.
So Mr. Starbuck's traumatic experience wasn't accidental.
Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered.
Wow, I had no idea such an awful events were behind the exciting story of space heroism.
All that, in spite of the Space Center having very strict security in those days.
Excuse me.
All personal effects were examined thoroughly, coming and going. But couldn't even smuggle in a weathered old leaf through those checkpoints.
I thought that said through butt cheeks. Okay, I don't know why I thought that, but okay. So do you have any clues to who was responsible for the sabotage?
At the very least, I know it wasn't Simon Blackwell. I don't know enough to identify the true culprit, but it's clear what that person is. To put it simply, a spy.
A spy? You mean somebody who infiltrates a foreign country? carries out dangerous missions and always gets the girl. Someone's watching way too many late-night movies that are not suitable for her age, Trucy. Well, I guess it... Crap. I guess if we're talking about blowing up a rocket and stealing research materials, it's not all that surprising that the spy could be behind it all. The spy. Who shagged me?
Make no mistake. There's cutthroat rivalry between nations in the R&D race. Space R&D race. Some try to outdo others by any means possible, even deliberate obstruction. 7 years ago, we got a call before the launch warning us of sabotage. The same MO as this time. Yes, and here I thought the perpetrator had been caught, but it looks like I was wrong.
Pursuit of Blackwell seems more like a ninja than a spy, don't you think? Aren't ninjas and spies basically the same thing? Maybe? I don't fucking know. I don't really know ninjas from, like, movies and anime and video games.
But there's a reason we failed to find the real spy. A massive cover-up by the government. Government officials were too embarrassed to admit it. That they had been allowed such a thing to happen at the hands of a spy.
Don't tell me they made the police rush to the investigation.
They did indeed. And then, to cover up the sabotage, they cleaned up the story.
And that was the Hat 1 miracle, wasn't it? But then 7 years later, the same MO, advance warning of sabotage, that must have been the director's reason for switching the launch pads. Just like 7 years ago. 7 years ago, the spy gave you advance warning of their plans, just like this time. That was what made you decide to switch the launch pads, wasn't it?
That's right. The caller knew the facts of the case 7 years ago, despite the cover-up. They knew about their sabotage, the moon rock, the murder, and they said, "You don't want things to go like they did 7 years ago, do you?" I immediately started calling off the launch, but the government wouldn't let me. We don't give in to the likes of terrorists. We must proceed with our country's honor. It was kind of moving speech, really.
Moving? Really? Maybe if you're easily inspired by political talking points.
But I knew the truth. They had been warned, which meant that the danger was very real. And I knew there was no way to stop the spy. No matter what I did, they would find a way. That's why I switched the launch pads and staged the moving rescue.
Moving rescue scene.
First, I snuck into the center at night before and switched the launch pads. That way, the astronauts would go from boarding lounge 1 to the Space Museum. When I put a closed for repair sign on the door for launch pad 1 and at the door to launch pad 1 in boarding lounge 2.
You did that so normal visitors wouldn't enter, right?
I enlisted the help of several staff members, including Terran.
But you didn't let Mr. Starbucks in on it.
He already's been through enough, and he's no good at lying and to keep a secret. I'm afraid I had no choice but to have him drugged. My plan went well until... Clay's murder, huh?
Oh, Clay's murder, huh?
After the culprit made their escape, I switched the launch pads back. I did it in such a way that no one would find out, but after all that effort, Terran is dead and Hat 1-2 is destroyed.
Hat 1-2, huh? Yeah, and the Hope Capsule,
which had returned to us only recently, was lost in that blast. My home, the center of the cosmos. My beautiful Cosmos Space Center is done for.
Wait, what did he mean by the Hope Capsule was lost in that blast? The Hope Capsule. I thought the Hope Capsule was found in the crime scene with Mr. Terran. It had just been brought back by the Hope space probe with asteroid samples inside. Okay. Yeah, we're having a flashback to the same place that we were the other day. And yeah, you were setting off for samples, right?
The capsule was being held in the safe in Launch Pad 1, but I gave it to Terran before the incident so it wouldn't be destroyed in the explosion. The idea was, with it safely in Terran's possession, he could make it look like he rescued it during the staged miraculous escape. But our precious research materials ended up lost to the explosion anyway.
But I thought Clay was supposed to keep it safe.
You misunderstand. The launch pad explosion wasn't the one the capsule was lost to. It was lost after the police confiscated it as evidence.
Oh, the courtroom.
It was in the courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there in the courthouse as evidence and was blown to smithereens.
Yet another casualty to that blast.
Ultimately, I think the culprit may have known about switching of the launch pads.
What? How?
The police found a wiretapping device during their investigation today. A bug aboard my battleship, a tap on my advanced communication systems.
A wire on your phone?
Yes, a wire on this very phone. I use this phone to give instructions to my staff about the launch pad switch. There's a select few members who knew about this plan. Just before the incident, staff members were coming in and out of Launchpad 1. The culprit probably slipped in with them amid the confusion.
And planted the bomb then?
Yes. If they were tapping your...
yes, if they were tapping your phone, they definitely could have pulled something like that off. So you really think the same spy is behind the incident in the one 7 years ago?
Yes, I'm sure of it.
Then the spy must be the Phantom that Prosecutor Blackwell has been chasing. I don't know how you can chase someone from jail. I guess just researching? Yeah. So if we can find this Phantom, that's right, we can clear Athena's name. And then there's the matter of Prosecutor Blackwell's too. What about him? Well, if the culprit of 7 years ago is the same person as the current incident, it would mean Prosecutor Blackwell is innocent. That's still an if, though. I wonder how dangerous that guy would be in court without his handcuffs. But if we're going on a ghost hunt, count me in!
It's all over me! Spin, spin, whirl, whirl, I'm done for. The center of the cosmos is doomed.
Do you think he's gonna be alright? No. Well, at least he'll be in gun company. There must be planets out there that he can spin with. Which reminds me, I'd like to delve a little deeper into the Hat 1 mission, too.
If you want to learn more, start with the Space Museum. There's a Hat 1 exhibit there. Don't mind me, I'll just keep spinning here and see how the cosmos unfolds.
Well, it looks like he's achieved spiritual enlightenment or something. I'm sure he'll stop when he gets dizzy. Let's go to the Space Museum. Excuse me, but about this piece of evidence...
Let me ask you a question. What will the object contribute to the future of mankind?
What? Oh, not much, I guess.
Huh. Then how important could it be? Quite unlike the great historical figure Yuri Cosmos.
If he's any more self-absorbed, he'll turn into his very own black hole. Oh, he stopped spinning. Good for him.
Mankind's crowning achievement, the Hat 1 mission, will be in the textbooks across the land.
Oh, that's historic, huh? Or that historic.
My missions are grand enough to rival the very birth of space itself. My life will be a legend that will be told millions of years in the future. You may proceed to admire and praise me now.
You certainly are an amazing piece of work. Okay, so that's the same. Nothing there. How about here? Really? Nothing on this. Okay. Knife.
What a shame, truly. Clay was so young. He was an outstanding man who could have contributed greatly to the future of mankind.
He was an exceptional man, wasn't he?
If he had gone into space, my reputation would have grown even loftier. Why did he have to die before he went into space?
Someone needs to teach him he is not the literal center of the cosmos, and to have some empathy. Jesus Christ. Good Lord. Man, it's really a shame this person died. You know, he could have made something more of himself before he died, so I could be seen in a better light. That is something. Space Museum, please don't be that robot girl. Let's see. Where's the exhibit on the launch 7 years ago? There's the Hat 1 exhibit. Or Hat 1. Yeah, Hat 1 exhibit. Oh yeah, look at the photo of the team. There's Clay, Mr. Starbucks, Director Cosmos, Aura Black, Quill, and even Ponko. But I've never seen the woman on the right before. Everyone looks so happy. Well, except for the Director Cosmos. Let's check out the newspaper article, too. The Hat 1 launch imminent. And there's a photo of the Hope space probe. Guess only natural it doesn't talk about the murder or the sabotage. They really were keeping a secret, just like the director said. Daddy, take a look at this jacket. It must be the Hat One team's uniform jacket. It's the same design as the one Apollo was wearing, the one that belonged to Clay. Actual jacket worn by Hat One team ever, it says. Not a replica, huh? I wonder if it was Mr. Starbucks. There's like a slash on the side. Hello? Oh, hey. Oh, Miss Woods, what brings you here?
I heard Athena got arrested, so I've been looking for you, Mr. Wright. I thought you might be here at the scene.
You must be so worried, but rest assured, I'm going to do everything, do my very best to defend her.
Athena's going through such a hard time. I hope she doesn't lose her heart. Even just coming back to this place must have been really difficult for her.
Huh? You mean the Cosmos Space Center?
What? You didn't know? She used to live here when she was a little girl.
She did? No, I didn't know. No wonder she knew so much. Ms. Woods, could you tell me more in detail? Next time? Thank you for watching. I'll see y'all in the next episode. Bye!